weeks. The Senate health vote delayed until next month. If Republicans can't agree, Leader McConnell says he's just going to have to bring in the Democrats, Senator Schumer, and negotiate a fix for Obamacare with them. That would surely mean a lot more socialized medicine. This man is Marc. He's Vice President Pence's press secretary. Okay, Marc, conservative Hugh Hewitt says if Republicans fail, we end up with single payer. What say you?
Well, that's obviously where the Democrats want to go, Stuart. That's something that they've talked about recently and all throughout even the Obamacare original discussions that was their ultimate goal. But really, when we get beyond just the discussions of single payer and Democrats and Republicans, at the end of the day, it's the American people, many of them who are suffering under Obamacare. They're the victims in this.
Marc, forgive me for interrupting you. Do forgive me for this, but look. If we don't get an agreement among the Republicans, if there is no agreement, if there's no vote yes on whatever they come up with in a couple of weeks' time, if there's a no vote, we're all stuck with Obamacare. We're all stuck with a Democrat solution that would be worse than what we've got.
Well, as the record is showing, Obamacare is collapsing in front of our very eyes, and so that's why you will see Republicans come together. This is the legislative process and the way it's designed to work. We saw it with the House vote where they needed a little bit more time. What you're seeing right now is Republicans coming together under the leadership of President Trump. He had the Senate Republicans into the White House last night. They are working on they're working on a plan to move forward. Look, it's just a question of when do we get there.
When I was on the air this time yesterday, there were 6 Republican holdouts. As of now, there are 9 Republican holdouts. They're not coming together. They're moving further apart. And when they go back to their constituencies this weekend, they're going to get an earful from lobbyists on both sides. And coming together will be a lot more difficult.
Well, what I would tell you is that as the vote is developed, you're going to see members that are going to try to obviously influence negotiations. They're going to try to work in their ideas, their plans. But at the end of the day, one of the things that Republicans are all united on is the fact that Obamacare is collapsing. Too many people are suffering under it. Earlier this week, the vice president met with about a dozen people who literally had their Obamacare payments cost more than their mortgage, and in many cases, the doctors wouldn't even take the Obamacare card. That's a problem, and just because you have an Obamacare card in your wallet doesn't mean you have insurance if you can't afford to use it or doctors won't take it. So we'll get there. It's just going to be a question of getting the time to work out the plan that will get to the votes that we need to get this across the finish line.
Last one, and this is my editorial at the top of the hour. You didn't see it, but I'll repeat it. In my opinion, something is better than nothing. And you say?
What I'll tell you is that the president and Republican leaders on both sides on Capitol Hill are working to get this done right. We want to make sure that what we do lowers premiums, provides greater access, and really helps people get the access to the coverage that they need. We're in the system right now. It is collapsing, so we have to do it right. And that's what you're seeing with a couple of extra weeks here and there. It happened in the House. It's happening again in the Senate. But at the end of the day, Republicans on Capitol Hill will put a bill on President Trump's desk that will repeal and replace Obamacare, restore market competition and choice to the American people.
Marc, I think you've got a very tough row to hoe. You're in a tough position, but thanks very much for coming on the show this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Yes.